gorgeous design, and a show-stopping look. This is my Oppo Reno5 Pro review. Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here to share my review of the Oppo Reno5 Pro. And I've been using this phone for the past week, and in my opinion, this is a great new entrant in the line of Reno phones this year. And with a starting price of around 410 euros or around 4,700 Hong Kong dollars, pricing will vary on your location. I think this Oppo Reno5 Pro is bringing some incredible design chops and a really well-rounded experience. But can this phone stand up next to the Xiaomi Mi 11 as one of the best offerings so far of 2021? Let's have a look. Starting off with design, it's 7.6 millimeters and 173 grams. The first thing I noticed when I picked up this device was how thin it truly is. And with this gorgeous galactic silver back, this is probably one of the most beautiful backs I've ever seen on any phone this year. And this pearlescence camera bump, precision cut, just feels really premium. And that is why, guys, I was a bit surprised to learn that this is not aluminum, and Oppo's done a really good job of mimicking metal in this case. Now, I can't be a hypocrite. I have not liked these types of faux plastic designs in the past, but for some reason on this phone, it just works. And I think a large part of this has to do with how small the sides are, and the fact that you have this glass designed for Reno insert at the top. It gives it a very unique and premium look. And that also helps reduce the weight of this device, making it a very light and sleek phone to use daily. And with a very slight curve to this gorgeous 6.55-inch AMOLED 90Hz display, you're going to have a great time watching content, playing games on this Oppo Reno5 Pro. And this phone can get up to 1100 nits of max brightness, which is really good, but in strong lighting a Mi 11 still does a better job. But I've loved the display on this device, and I've loved the design of this device. These are definitely the two highlights, and the galactic silver is the icing on the cake. This is easily one of the most beautiful backs of any phone that I've tested here on the channel. And no worries, in DRM info, this is the global version of this phone, so you will get L1 HD Netflix support out of the box. It's an L1 party here on the Oppo Reno5 Pro. Performance, and we have once again the Dimensity 1000 Plus, and I've used this chipset on a number of phones, most recently the Realme X7 Pro, which delivers terrific near flagship level performance. Now, you could argue that the Dimensity 1000 Plus is already last year's Dimensity flagship chipset, and we'll be seeing the Dimensity 1200 coming out very soon. But look, day to day, you will not notice. And with my unit, you get 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, and it has not had any issues whatsoever. No stutters, no slowdowns. This is a very fast and zippy device, and performance has been completely solid, and I played PUBG on this phone at smooth extreme settings at a solid 60 FPS, and the phone did not even heat up too much, and in this case the plastic edges actually helped with keeping the phone cool for longer. So whether you're pushing this with Genshin Impact or PUBG or any other 3D type of game, this phone will run it, and it will run it well. And in terms of battery, we have a 4,350 mAh capacity on this Oppo Reno5 Pro with a 65-watt Super VOOC 2.0 charging on board, which allows me to go from 0 to 100 on this phone in 35 minutes. And that is the third fastest charging time in the history of my channel, second only to the Mi 10 Ultra and the Realme X2 Pro. Now, there is one thing missing though from the battery experience of this phone, and that is wireless charging. But generally speaking, even at 90 Hz, this phone lasts through a day. You're gonna have no problems with the battery experience of this Oppo Reno5 Pro. And being a Dimensity 1000 Plus chipset, you're going to have 5G capability on this phone and all the latest comms, including Bluetooth 5.1, dual band Wi-Fi 6, and it will depend on the region, but my unit here does have NFC on board as well. And there is one thing that Oppo does, and that is offer USB 3.1 support through the USB-C jack on this phone. Good job, Oppo. That is nice to see. And with an optical in-display fingerprint scanner that is super fast and super responsive. It's one of the fastest ones that I've ever tested on the channel, and it seems like BBK really delivers some high-quality fingerprint scanning experience on their phones. And the vibration motor on this phone is also pretty solid. I wouldn't put it to the level of the Mi 11s, but it reminds me of the one in the OnePlus 8T. It will give you a pleasant typing and navigation experience on this phone. And the audio speaker experience, we have a single bottom firing speaker on this Oppo Reno5 Pro, which in my feelings is probably the biggest letdown of this device. The Oppo Reno4 Pro released previously with dual speakers, so why go back from the dual speaker experience of the previous generation to the single speaker experience of this phone? I don't really get that decision, but on the plus side, the listening experience is very good. You get a very loud and clear sound from this bottom firing speaker. And I would rate it an 8 out of 10 in terms of performance as far as single firing speakers go. And lastly, talking about the cameras, we have a quad camera setup on this Oppo Reno5 Pro, including a 64 megapixel f1.7 IMX686 main camera with an 8 megapixel ultra wide and then those 2 megapixel macro and depth sensors, which I really am not a big fan of. And overall, the output of the cameras of this phone are really good. In daylight, you get some quality shots, and the ultra-wide gives you pleasing images as well. But there is one omission to this phone, and that is the lack of OIS on the main camera of this phone. But ultimately, you're going to be getting a pretty similar experience as the Poco F2 Pro, which also shipped without OIS on its 64 megapixel IMX686 main camera. But beyond the photo taking capabilities, the video capabilities of this phone are a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed using the AI video modes, the dual video modes that are on this phone. It gives you a really fun way to shoot video, but don't take my word for it. Have a look at my photo and video samples and hit me up in the comments. What do you think? And here's rear-facing video on the Oppo Reno5 Pro using AI highlight video. Looks pretty good. Beautiful day here. Let's do a little walking. There we go. But hit me up in the comments. What do you think? Here's some rear-facing AI video on the Oppo Reno5 Pro, shooting in 4K. Beautiful sunny day here. And the colors look great. I did shoot a full HD version earlier. I think the stabilization was a bit better at full HD compared to 4K. But it looks pretty good overall. But hit me up in the comments. What do you think? And here's a sample of AI highlight video on the Oppo Reno5 Pro. It's supposed to highlight the colors, but really good footage so far. Beautiful day here in Hong Kong. Hope you guys are doing well. Staying safe. So that's it for this video and my final verdict of this Oppo Reno5 Pro. To be honest, this is one of the phones that I was really excited to review early this year. That's why I was so excited when Oppo reached out for me to review this device, because it continues the tradition of all the great Reno phones we've seen in the past, from the original Reno, the 10X Zoom, the Reno 3 Pro, and the 4 Pro from last year. and now we have the 5 Pro continuing to bring great design and just great features for the price. If you're looking for one of the most beautifully built and well-rounded phone experiences so far this year, this is the phone, guys. And if you can pick it up in this galactic silver, you will not regret it. Despite the few lacking features, I think the general overall package of this Oppo Reno 5 Pro is great, and I do recommend it. And thanks once again to Oppo for sending this one out. But hit me up in the comments. What are your thoughts on this Oppo Reno 5 Pro, and do you think it's a worthy purchase in 2021? Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. Stay tuned, guys. More great videos coming to the channel very soon. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. Absolutely gorgeous.